Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for the weekly comic book review. That's right everybody, thanks for checking out the video. It's finally time for the weekly comic book review. I do appreciate your patience with the delay this week. I went and saw Tool last night, had a magnificent time. It was a great show, it was astounding. But now we're back with the weekly comic book review, the show where I read a lot of comic books and I'll let you know what I thought about them. And we always start with the pick of the week. This week's pick of the week, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 6. This was a fantastic, just splendorous issue. This was great. It was so good, amazing artwork, a great story. I don't want to reveal too much about the story because the reveal about what's actually happening in the story is one of the reasons why the story works so well, but it's a very charming, endearing, grounded, and important story. Starts off very weird, whimsical, fun, fresh, but then it has this change in the middle of the story, but it makes it all for the best. This was a fantastic issue by Tom Taylor, Juan Cabal, Nolan Woodard, and company. Fantastic job on the artwork. Beautiful, elegant composition and layouts. Fantastic structure right there. A great script. It introduces the character of Spider-Bite, which is a new sidekick, it seems, for Spider-Man, but is all that it seems. But when the reveal happens, it hits you hard. It's a gut punch. It's really a fantastic comic book that was so well done. And without spoiling too much, there have been plenty of comic books like this one, but none of them work as effectively as this one. Tom Taylor, Juan Cabal, Nolan Woodard, and company have done such an outrageously splendid job with this issue. It's a great one-and-done story. You can read it even if you haven't read a single issue of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man yet, even if you've never read a Spider-Man comic book, even if you've never read a comic book in your life. Why not start here? Pick this one up. It's a great issue. I think it will make you think twice about how important comic books are, because they are. It's a fantastic issue. Speaking of Spider-Man, Symbiote Spider-Man number 2 is out from Marvel this week. You know, I didn't really like the first issue that much. This is a 5-issue series, so this is the second issue out of 5. And this is spotlighting an untold Mysterio story from back in the black costume symbiote Spidey days, right? So, of course, we got the new movie coming out with Mysterio, so you got to spotlight Mysterio. Unfortunately, to me, the spotlight's just a little too silly. It doesn't really make Mysterio that big of a threat. I know that typically that's not how Mysterio is brought about, but I think this was a missed opportunity, especially because it's cool to go back and tell some of those untold stories during this Black Costume saga, because with all the knowledge now about Venom and the symbiote and where it all went, they didn't have that back in the day, so it's nice to go back and explore that, but I think there's just a bunch of missed opportunities in this one. It's got artwork by Greg Land, not necessarily my favorite artist at all, but it's pretty decently solid work in this one. Peter David's a great, consistent comic book writer, and he does do what he does, and he does kind of have a little bit of tongue-in-cheekness with his script writing, so I don't know, it just feels like it's not quite significant, not quite memorable, but I don't know, 2 issues, and it's alright, but the second issue was better than the first one, in my opinion. War of the Realms continues on through with new Agents of Atlas. This is a book by Greg Pak where he takes a bunch of Asian and Asian American characters and throws them together, but it works, and it works magnificently well. The Agents of Atlas is Jimmy Woo's team. It is Jimmy Woo, or is it Johnny Woo? It's Jimmy Woo. Never doubt yourself. Jimmy Woo was a character. He's a former agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now he has the Agents of Atlas. The Agents of Atlas book by Jeff Parker from a few years ago was pretty fun. So it's cool to see this new take on it with these certain types of characters like Shang-Chi, Kamala Khan, Amadeus Cho, and others. Lots of first appearances in here, including the first Marvel Comics published appearance by Arrow and Wave, which were thing they did with like a gaming company or a webcomic or something like that, but a bunch of first appearances are in this issue. But the issue itself also works really, really well, also showing how Muspelheim's taking over Asia, so it does show and shine a little bit of light on a certain element of the War of the Realms major story, that mostly Cinder's army taking over Asia, but really cool stuff. The characters work well together. I think Pack and Company did an excellent job with that one. War of the Realms also has another second issue miniseries out this week, Journey into Mystery. I wasn't quite sold on issue number 1. The whole Thor's baby sister thing took me by surprise. I didn't know that was a thread in the Angela book, I think, because I didn't read that one, right? So that kind of took me back. Didn't really feel much of the first issue But I really did like the second issue a whole lot better. Andre Lima Araujo, though, that's the big selling point for me on this book. I love his artwork ever since Generation Gone when I saw him on that book back in 2017. My favorite book of 2017, by the way. So I love the artwork. I love the spotlight on characters like Kate Bishop and Miles Morales and others. There's a little bit of Ares action in here, so that's always exciting. But this is not as near as important as this one is to the overall War of the Realms story. None of these two books, neither of these, is super important to the ongoing story. So if you're just trying to follow the main story, there you go. But if you want to see a little bit more about how Asia got taken over, read that one right here, Agents of Atlas. This one, though, is a nice little fun, lighthearted, silly story with some very fun, dynamic artwork. I did like the second issue of that immensely better than the first one. Captain Marvel number 5 is here by Kelly Thompson, Carmen Canero, Tamara Bonvillain. I love this creative team. They've done such amazing work with Carol in just 5 issues. This is the end of the first story arc, and it's exceptional. It's a great, satisfying ending with a little bit of drama in there, some unexpected drama. Also really like seeing Rogue and Carol once again come together, try to resolve their differences together. The artwork is sharp and dynamic, the coloring is bright and bold, and the writing, the script, the characterizations, it's all so spot on. This is a great book to have post-Captain Marvel movie. She is now becoming known more and more amongst fandom out there because of Endgame and Captain Marvel. So this is a great fun series and a great ending to the first arc that sets up a lot of excitement to come. So that's what Marvel Comics is all about. Invaders, I almost said Invaders. Invaders number 5 is out this week. Chip Zdarsky's been doing a great job with this one, mainly using it as a focus on Namor and kind of a character study on Namor, and even revealing some untold truths about Namor's past, especially involving Charles Xavier. Well, now it's all coming to a head, and once again, Namor's kind of being painted in this villainous role, but with a lot more depth and richness and layers to him than he ever had before. And I always thought that Namor was kind of handled pretty well, especially for the kind of hero/villain, Magneto-type character, right? But even going back to truly villainous roots, giving him a reason, like a legitimate reason, like why it's happening, making it make sense. Doing a great job with this one. Butch Guice and Magno, the whole art team, switching the arts from the eras. Really great book. I'm loving Invaders right now. Issue 5 is big, and Namor makes a bold move. He makes a bold move. X-Force number 7. I cannot say, honestly, that X-Force is one of the best comic books at Marvel right now, but it is one of my favorites. It's just fun. I just love it. And what's really keeps suckering me in is this redesign on Strife. I'm really, really liking it. This is like an attempt to redo and recapture that magic of the X-Force books from back in the day, which, regardless of how some people may think about them now, they had their magic back in the early 90s, right? And it does completely capture it. Dylan Burnett's back on the art in this one, and it's starting to work. He's really hitting his groove and his stride on this series. Ed Brisson knows these characters. This Kid Cable story, now Kid Strife, is very interesting. It's really cool. And like I said, I love that redesign on Strife. I'm loving X-Force. This is the start of a new story, but it is very dependent on the story that came before it. But I like it. It's a great setup. The X-Force traveling through time, trying to save Kid Cable from Kid Strife. Fantastic stuff. Why not? Unstoppable Wasp is here with issue number 7. A great issue. Nadia Pym, when she was raised in the Red Room, she was stolen from her childhood, right? Basically. And now with the recent revelations about her shared mental health history with her father, Hank Pym, she is now trying to go through therapy, and one of the things they suggest is you need to have a birthday. You've never had a birthday party. So this is Nadia's birthday party, and it's fantastic. Lots of guest appearances by characters, including the Champions and the Young Avengers. Really fun stuff. I've been loving what Jeremy Whitley and company have been doing with the character of Nadia Pym and the Unstoppable Wasp since the first volume of this. Love it. Cannot wait for more issues. This stuff is awesome. It's unstoppable for me. I love it. Conan the Barbarian number 6 is here. Jason Aaron, Mahmoud Asrar, and Matt Wilson and company have been doing a splendid job with Conan the Barbarian. I'm still reading it 6 issues in. This is a 12-issue story, so we're halfway through the completion. Jason Aaron taking different roles and different moments of Conan's life and telling one big overarching story throughout the entirety of the Conan saga and doing a great job with it. The artwork by Asrar and Wilson is just splendid. It's great. It's exactly what it needs to be, and I am loving this Conan book right now. Absolutely loving it. Star Wars Age of Rebellion hits one of the most popular Star Wars characters this week with a Boba Fett one-shot, and it was great. Greg Pak has really been knocking these Age of Rebellion one-shots out of the park. I thought the Age of the Republic ones, they were all right. these ones have pretty much all been spot on and really, really cool. This is a great Boba Fett story. It kind of reminds you about why Boba Fett was so badass, or so seemingly badass back in those original Star Wars movies. So it's a really cool exploration in just how badass he is. It doesn't really get too deep into his character or anything like that. I guess it does just a little bit, but it does exactly what it's supposed to do and tells you a great one-shot Boba Fett story. It does it splendidly well. Batman and the Outsiders #1 finally debuts from DC Comics. We've been waiting on this one for a while, ever since writer Brian Hill introduced the concept of this new Outsiders team in his Detective Comics run that followed Tynion's run last year, way before all the 1000 hoopla, right? Anyway, we finally have it in our hands, and I think it was worth the wait. Dexter Soy's pencils are amazing. I love the artwork. It's dynamic. I love the story. Great character explorations on Black Lightning, and especially on Duke Thomas, the Signal. Great job of Brian Hill and company, really setting up something cool and neat. And yeah, yet another Batman story, but this is one that's real fun, and it focuses on some great characters like Katana, like Cassandra, like Duke, like Black Lightning. Let's do it. Fantastic stuff. I'm really down for that one. The Batman Who Laughs #5 is here. No longer the penultimate issue, because it's now been moved from a 6-issue series to a 7-issue series. This one sets up some really crazy, cool, dark, twisted type things for Batman. Scott Snyder's just taken everything and just throwing it all out there right here in this Batman Who Laughs story. He's just doing some crazy bonkers type stuff, having a lot of fun with it. Gets dark, gets twisted, gets pretty crazy. Some great moments in here, especially involving the Court of Owls. Some really dark moments too that happen in here. And the artwork by Jock is great. Oh, I probably didn't want to show you that page. The artwork by Jock is absolutely fantastic. It's splendid, it's dark, it's exactly what it needs to be. And I'm really, really getting more and more intrigued about what the overarching plan of the Batman Who Laughs is, and what Snyder's overarching plan is. You gotta take this, you're taking his Justice League work, and it's just really exciting, and it keeps me guessing, and I'm loving it. Another Batman book out this week, Detective Comics 1003, the weakest issue so far, in my opinion, by Peter Tomasi. The revelation of Arkham Knight is here, but it doesn't really I feel like it didn't have the impact that it should have had. Anyway, it's still a cool moment in the story where they're explaining some things and kind of setting up where the story's going. But to me, it's just a little bit of a weak issue. Didn't quite have the big dynamic, explosive excitement of the previous 2 issues especially, but still relatively cool. So check that out. The Flash #70 is here with the start of a brand new story, a great jumping on point. It's Flash Year 1. So Joshua Williamson, Howard Porter, retelling the Flash's origin once again, right? But doing a pretty decent job. Some things kind of get skipped through pretty briskly in this issue, I think, but a lot of that stuff's already been explored in books like Flash Rebirth and even Secret Origins and stuff like that, right? So this is pretty fun. I did like it. I like this new take on what they're exactly spotlighting. But what's really cool about it is the artwork by Howard Porter, and really channeling that David Mazzucchelli Batman Year 1 type vibe, really taking advantage of the space on the page, utilizing it, having lots of density in the story, but having it move very fast and brisk as well. Really thought it was an exceptional, well done job for Flash Year 1, Chapter 1. Shazam #5 is out this week. This book is wild. This book is so fun. Jeff Johns, Dale Eaglesham, and company. There are a lot of artists on this issue, but it doesn't feel inconsistent because each artist takes over one of the different realms in the Magic Lands. And I'm loving every single bit of this Magic Lands mythology that we're learning. You got Black Adam in this issue too. Some really exciting things. I really just think that, first of all, Jeff Johns is writing the sequel to the Shazam movie here. That's what he's doing. So if you want to know what the sequel to the Shazam movie is going to be, definitely check this out. But the game lands, the wild lands, the fun lands, all that stuff is very intriguing to me. It's captivating, and it's just like the best parts of like Narnia and Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter all thrown into one giant awesome superhero comic book with a lot of different artists, but because of the way they break up and structure the story, it all works and it's consistent, at least for me. So Brian Hitch's final issue of Hawkman is out this week. Hawkman #12 wraps up this big story that they've been telling. It's a great, splendid, extravagant finale. The artwork by Brian Hitch is great. He's got 3 inkers, but it still keeps it a consistent flow throughout. The artwork is big, it's majestic, it's epic. It's exactly what you want to think from something like Brian Hitch, but Brian Hitch has been cranking out some really top-tier work right now. Robert Vendetti's done a great job of taking the character of Hawkman, all of the different timelines and histories, and making it all make sense, and now it's all come to one big head. The only thing now is after Brian Hitch, after the big revelations, where can we go? Are we going to be able to successfully have a Hawkman series now after 12 issues? Let's see. I'm excited to find out. Wonder Twins number 4 is out this week. Mark Russell, Stephen Byrne, they've been doing a great job on this one. I'll be honest with you, I hate the Wonder Twins. I have never liked the Wonder Twins. Not even in a fun, tingy bit of nostalgia or anything like that. But this book has been awesome, really great. Mark Russell's taken the idea, the opportunity to tell a story that most people aren't going to take seriously, and he's not taking the story too seriously, but he takes his themes very seriously, and there's some real cool themes explored in the pages of Wonder Twins. Issue 4 was a great issue. I thought it was exceptional. So, 2 Vault comics are out this week. Let's talk about them. They're definitely in my top 5. These Savage Shores number 4, the penultimate issue of the series. I did an advanced review of this one a couple weeks ago. I loved it. This book is melancholy, it's tragic, it's brutal, it's violent, it's necessary, it's thematically relevant. It's just everything that I want from a horror comic. It's not just trying to give me scares and gore and blood. It's trying to give me something deep. It's trying to give me something rich. It's trying to give me something meaningful. It's trying to, but it actually is. Do or do not, there is no try. It's doing these things, right? Fantastic book, elegant artwork by Sumit Kumar, by Torio Astoni. The best letterer in the business right now, Bidikar, doing a fantastic job. This book is elegant, it's masterful, it's just superb. And it is seriously one of the best horror comic books I have ever read. The artwork is striking. Like I said, it's brutal, it's tragic, it's melancholy, it's necessary. It's about war, it's about the monster inside of all of us. It's got, it's got thinly veiled metaphors in it, like, this is set in the 1700s in India during the time when Britain is coming in, invading, trying to take over. So the vampires represent this Western influence coming in, but it's got so much more subtlety and nuance than that. There's so much in this book to just be dissected and digested, more than just a fun, cheap horror comic book. And that's the best horror comic books have layers and layers to them. These Savage Shores has layers. Another book that has layers is Wasted Space, this fun, snarky, satirical, sci-fi epic from Michael Morisi, Vault Comics, Hayden Sherman, Jason Wordy, Jim Campbell, and company. A fantastic job, a great issue. I did an advanced review of this one just a couple days ago, so check that one out. It's a great issue, a great turning point in the series, the penultimate chapter of the second arc. Michael Morisi has taken these characters and he's really found their voices. He's really found his voice with this book. Hayden Sherman's artwork is just splendid. It's masterful. Everything about this book is masterful. It's amazing. It's really fun. It's high octane, but it really poses and ponders some deep questions about the nature of war, the nature of morality, and the nature of redemption and responsibility. Fantastic stuff from Vault Comics. These Savage Shores number 4, Wasted Space number 9, both penultimate issues in their own rights. Anyway, from Image Comics, we have Excellence number 1. This was a really intriguing book. It's really meaty. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of cool concepts in it. It's basically about this world that's filled with magic. There's a secret organization of magicians. It seems like they're all black magicians. Not like black magic, but like black people. And it seems like they are hidden behind the scenes, and they use their magic to make sure that those who have a greater purpose in this world can fulfill that purpose. So there's lots of thematic relevance in this issue. It's also a great issue about fathers and sons. Really great stuff. Dynamic artwork, a really cool concept, and it just really was very engaging and thrilling all the way through. I thought Excellence number 1 was quite excellent. Really cool book. Ice Cream Man is here with the final issue of the third arc. This is issue number 12, the 4th chapter of Hopscotch Melange. Oh my goodness, Ice Cream Man is amazing. It's this anthology horror comic with this overarching story that's mostly based, it seems, on themes and ideas, right? But I love it. It's about despair, it's about suffering, but it still has a tinge of hope in it. It's a fantastic book that gets wild, that gets weird, that has beautiful, elegant artwork by Chris O'Halloran and Martine Morazzo. The writing by W. Maxwell Prince has just been superb. It's been splendid. And in this one now, we're veering into sci-fi horror territory. This book, and one of the cool things about its format is it can do whatever it wants to do, and it still tells a very engaging story. And in each issue, it's got your own great, really weird, kooky, fun story. Really deep things too. But there's also this overall theme and story that's emerging that's just really captivating. Ice Cream Man is next level stuff. Issue 12 is out this week. Murder Falcon is here with the final issue of its series. Number 8 is a very slam bang, awesome, fantastic, satisfying conclusion to Murder Falcon that's explosive, it's fun, it's high energy, and it's also touching. And it will make you kind of tear up just a little bit. Murder Falcon has been a splendid series. Daniel Warren Johnson, Mike Spicer, they've been doing such a phenomenal job with this one. The conclusion is worth it. This book has been so awesome, so much fun. If you missed out, definitely got to get the trade when it comes out. But that final issue is out. Section 0, number 2 is here. A previously released issue, but Carl Kiesel, Tom Grummett, and company now are going to successfully tell the entire Section 0 story, so I'm excited about it. The second issue is fun. It has a lot of the trappings of comic books in the late 90s, early 2000s, so it doesn't quite age so well. Issue 3 is going to be another one set during that time, and I think that the final 3 issues are going to be kind of newish, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do in that bridge of that gap right there. But this is like X-Files with superheroes in a way, you know, but I like it. I like it a lot, and I'm excited that they're finally going to get to tell their story. I think it's cool. From IDW Black Crown, we have Eve Stranger, number 1, a really cool Born Identity type story. Really interesting, mysterious, great artwork by Philip Bond, a really cool story. Great thematic elements to it. I really did like this one. It's got high-octane thrills, weird science, and doom romance. And I just read that off the back, but it does deliver on everything that it promises. This is really fun. One of your sleeper hits of the week. Definitely be on the lookout for this one. If you like Jason Bourne, if you like cool spy-type stuff, if you like thrillers, you like high-concept sci-fi action, get into Eve Stranger out this week. For Mad Cave, there was Honor and Curse. This is the second printed number 1, but I haven't checked out or talked about anything from Mad Cave yet. Honor and Curse may not have been the best one. It didn't really grab me. It seemed decent enough. It seems like if you're a fan of certain animes and certain mangas, you're really going to like it. The artwork's kind of similar to it. The artwork's clean. The coloring is really good. I like the coloring. The production level is pretty cool too, but nothing grabbed me about the story. But I am excited to check more things out from Mad Cave because I hear good things about Knights of the Golden Sun and Battle Cats. Black Hammer, Age of Doom is here, issue number 10. Black Hammer's been amazing, and now we're hitting a point in the story where it's turning again, and it's really starting to ramp up. The Ormston's pencils are amazing. It's really cool to see where we're going. I have no idea where this series is going, and that's one of my favorite things about Black Hammer. It starts off, and you think Black Hammer's just going to be, you know, oh, Jeff Lemire doing his own version of like classic Golden and Silver Age characters, right? But it has moved so far beyond that now and beyond my expectations that I have no expectations for this book. But it continues to blow them away. I have no idea where we're going, but this is a fun book, and each issue is just splendid, and it's got this nice tinge of small town melancholy about it, and it's something that Jeff Lemire does splendidly well. Also from Dark Horse Comics, we have the 3rd issue of Weird Out, best issue of this series yet. It's a very John Constantine type character. He's the one that the government goes to when the strange and the weird happens, and they need someone to take care of it and clean it up. Weird is that guy. But now, in this issue, all of a sudden, we got something thrown into the spokes of the wheel, right? We got some information maybe that weird and that things are not quite what they seem. It's a great issue, a great fun story, great artwork by Antonio Fuso. Kurt Pyers is the writer, doing a great job. And seriously, this is the best issue yet, and it's getting better. This is cool stuff, cool stuff. Weird number 3 out from Dark Horse. So that's what I read this week. What'd you read? What'd you think about it? Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video, and please do join us at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts and a whole lot more. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more comic book reviews, movie reviews, and such like that. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Keep on reading.